Hi, my name is Jordan Bucher. I have a background in human resource, administration, and military leadership. I've always been interested in learning more about coding over the years, and I learned about a program through the Department of Veterans Affairs and started to look into schools and found savvy coders. My capstone aims to answer if there is a correlation between the amount spent on a Senate election and the winner. I was able to find data through the Federal Election Commission. I would now like to present what I created. Expenditure in elections and its impact on election outcomes. In this data analytics capstone project, I will explore the relationship between expenditure in elections and its impact on election outcomes. The objective is to understand the extent to which campaign spending influences the chances of winning an election and determine whether financial investment is a significant predictor of electoral success. To begin, I collected and compiled relevant data sets, such as election results, campaign spending. Next, I performed extensive data cleaning and pre-processing, utilizing tools like SQLite and Pandas to handle missing values, restructure data, and merge data sets as necessary. Once the data was clean and well-structured, I conducted exploratory data analysis to identify trends, patterns, and correlations within the data. Following the exploratory analysis, we'll better understand the causality between campaign expenditure and electoral success. This will help us quantify the impact of financial investments on election results and test the hypothesis that spending more money on a campaign leads to higher probability of winning. By understanding the role of campaign spending and election outcomes, we can better inform decision makers and stakeholders about the effectiveness of financial investments in electoral campaigns and contribute to a more efficient allocation of resources in the political sphere. During my time in the data analytics course, I was a Scrum Master for an Agile team. I effectively facilitated the team's progress by implementing Jira boards to track our project roadmap. Through meticulous sprint planning, we reviewed and discussed child issues, rated their difficulty levels, and assigned story points accordingly. This collaborative approach ensured that all team members were aware of their responsibilities and could prioritize tasks efficiently. Additionally, as the acting product manager, I took on the role of updating the Jira board in the absence of the regular product owner. By maintaining transparent communication and managing the team's workload, I was able to lead the team towards successful project completion while fostering an environment of continuous learning and improvement. This is one of the velocity reports. As you can see, the several sprints that we did, our commitment, what we completed out of them. You can see this broken down here. Next, I'd like to showcase some of the code I used. Here, I imported some of the Senate data using Pandas into a data frame. Then I printed the data frame out to see what headers were on the data set. That way I could effectively remove them. Then I used the toDrop to remove various headers that weren't necessary for that data set. Then I went back over here. This is where I utilized SQL to connect to the database. And then I created new tables from the old tables with only the headers I needed. Certain headers were unnecessary, so I dropped them, then created the new tables in SQL. Then I joined the tables, the newly created tables in SQL, and closed that out. Over here, I have a breakdown of the 2020 Senate elections and various amounts spent by different candidates here. Then underneath, I have this chart for the runner-up amount that was spent. I've highlighted some over here on the side, such as a big one that I'm sure sticks out. Lindsey Graham spent 97 million. The runner-up spent 129 million, did not win. Another one, Cindy Hyde Smith, she spent over 3 million. Runner-up that did not win spent 12 million. Here you can see Gary Peters. Gary Peters won, but he spent more money than the runner-up, who spent 46 million. Gary Peters spent over 49 million. Again, Mark Warner, another senator from Virginia. Mark Warner spent over 16 million. The runner-up only spent 4 or over 4. Mitch McConnell, another one, spent 57 million or over 57 million. The runner-up to Mitch McConnell spent 90 million. So you can see that there's not always a clear-cut winner based just off of the amount spent on the elections. This is a simplistic chart, but to get to the conclusion, whilst campaign spending plays a significant role in Senate elections, various other factors can influence the outcome, and the winner isn't always the candidate who spends the most. Factors such as the candidate's party affiliation, incumbency advantage, demographics, political climate during the election year can have a substantial impact on the results. The effectiveness of a candidate's campaign strategy, including their messaging, grassroots organization, and the ability to engage with voters, can also contribute to their success. Furthermore, external events and crises, such as economic downturns or public health emergencies, can shift voter preferences and affect election outcomes. Finally, a candidate's personal attributes, such as their experience, charisma, perceived trustworthiness, can sway undecided voters. Although there is often a correlation between campaign spending and electoral success, the relationship is not absolute, as the various factors mentioned above can interact with one another and ultimately determine the winner of Senate elections. In some cases, a candidate's ability to capitalize on these factors may outweigh the financial advantage of the opponent, leading to an electoral victory despite being outspent. These happen. I have another chart here. This is a breakdown just over how many votes each candidate received. This is all for the 2020 election. But this goes right along with the other two charts I have here as well. Back to the code here. Initially, you see I loaded it with the pandas into the data frame and used that to go through and remove certain headers. I didn't end up using that method. I actually used the SQL method to just create the tables based off what I needed to be in each table before I joined them together. I felt as though the pandas was just using the pandas in the data frame, I felt like was too much, as far as there was too much unnecessary code versus just using the quicker method with the SQL and just creating the tables like I needed them with the headers and then just joining them together. Turned out a lot better. Thank you. I appreciate your time.